Order. The final item of business today is a members' business debate on motion number 6920 in the name of David Stewart on the importance of RAF Kinloss and RAF Lossiemouth. We now move to the open debate. Speeches of 4 minutes. Dave Thompson, followed by Peter Peacock.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. As a Lossie loon, I ken mair than maist just fu much Moray folk are feeling the snell lib con wind that's blowing round their necks. Indeed, Moray is gripped by fear and apprehension, following the decision of politicians in a distant land to wipe out the Kinloss Air Base. This decision will have a devastating impact on service personnel and their families, who have bought homes and settled in this beautiful part of Scotland, and also on hundreds of small businesses, community groups, schools and public services, once the RAF personnel are removed. Thousands of people who are indirectly affected by this controversial decision are also waiting nervously to find out what impact it will have on the value of their homes, the future of their children's school, and even the viability of their local butcher. And all the time, the people of Moray cannot escape the fear that this disastrous news about Kinloss is merely the harbinger of an even more devastating cut to follow. Fears that the demise of Kinloss will soon be followed by a similar announcement of closure of neighbouring RAF Lossie have raised the prospect of a second, even more damaging blow to the economy of Moray and surrounding communities. This fear and uncertainty was made clear to me by dozens of people I met in Forres, close to RAF Kinloss, when I visited last month, shortly after they had been shocked by the unwelcome announcement. This was in dramatic contrast to the enthusiasm that I saw when I visited RAF Kinloss with my son-in-law Stefan this summer to have a go on the simulator installed at the base to help train pilots and crew of the eagerly awaited next-generation Nimrod surveillance and rescue aircraft, the MRA-4. The effect on Moray will be devastating, and I was very disappointed in David Cameron's flippant remarks last week, as the loss of defence jobs in Moray is no laughing matter. And Mr Cameron should also know that Scotland is not just one region, but several, and that carriers in the Central Belt are no compensation for cuts in Moray. Moray is already disadvantaged, as average wages are just £407.50 a week, which is 13.7% less than the Scottish average. And with the loss of the higher wages at the bases, that figure will drop even further below the Scottish average. It is unacceptable that Moray should suffer in this way, especially as the UK government takes in hundreds of millions a year from Moray whisky, which is enough to pay for the bases many times over. It is also the case that Scotland does not get its fair share of defence spending, and that more is spent on defence in London than on the whole of Scotland. The Tories, Labour and the Lib Dems have been fond of telling us that an independent Scotland couldn't afford the Moray bases, and that they would close when Scotland got independence. Well, it now looks like they are intent, as one letter writer to a local paper put it, on punishing the people of Moray for voting SNP. If that is not the case, then they must prove it. They must tell us quickly exactly what is to happen at Kinloss. No time. They must tell us quickly whether Lossie is safe, and they must, at the very least, step up to the plate with a substantial transition fund to offset the economic impact of their decisions. Anything less, and they will find that they will not be forgiven by the people of Moray or by the people of Scotland.